Hello, my friends, and welcome back. We are here to continue in the world of Old World Blues for Hearts of Iron 4, and I'm very excited to be here, as you'll see why. This should be after Halloween. I hope you all had a good Halloween. I don't know, is it just America that does Halloween? Do places in Europe or wherever you're from do Halloween? I would be interested to hear where you're from. I don't know where all people watch, or some of my folks who comment often. I'd love to see that. But anyway, I'm ready to get into this because I have a faction to play that will be very personal to me, and you'll see why. So let's go ahead and hit single player. New game. All right. Select country. Here we are, and it's very, this is going to look a little different because I have come across some submods that fill in the East. So we got East Coast Rebirth submod that fills a lot of the DC and Northeast area in. I haven't even touched it yet. New Orleans is actually here now in Louisiana. Fountain of Dreams submod fills in Florida. And then you have some Cuba and Caribbean submods that fill in some of the islands here: Cuba, Haiti, Puerto Rico, and the Bahamas. But the faction I'm going to play and start today is going to be the Gulf Expedition, and we'll get into why all that is important to me here in a second. And if you're new here, remember I do like to read a lot of the focuses, as that's part of the story, and that's kind of what makes it, that's part of the fun, really. So we have Paladin Lord Campbell, the victor of Tallahassee. Paladin Lord Campbell was one of the most well-known paladins within the Midwest, highly respected for his accomplishments and merit as part of the Brotherhood. When the Radaway crisis escalated, Paladin Lord Campbell sent a request to undertake a mission to Florida due to the supposed location of the Fountain of Dreams, a natural source of Radaway, as indicated to General Arthur. The request was eventually accepted due to the spike in rad storms and the concerns they raised. With his two most loyal paladins, the Paladin Lord organized the expedition and began the harsh trek to Florida to find the Fountain of Dreams. Although the journey was arduous, they arrived in Tallahassee and established their position there. Vito's family, which was trailing them, soon engaged in combat, but Paladin Lord Campbell led his men to victory against them, though it came at a cost. Now, the Paladin Lord must find the Fountain of Dreams and accomplish his mission, or risk being responsible for the deaths of not only his friends and family, but also thousands back in the Midwest. So here we go. Here, let's hit start, shall we? There we are. Okay. So here we are in Florida. You got Miami, Fort Lauderdale. You got the Tampa area. Magic Kingdom at Disney World is actually the capital of the Magic Kingdom Fountain, Jacksonville. But most importantly, here we are, the Gulf Expedition. The capital is Tallahassee, which I've mentioned here and there in other videos. This is where I live. This is my town, Tallahassee, Florida, which is also the capital of the state as well. So I just think this is so cool. Once I saw this, I just couldn't pass it up. Thank you all for suggestions of other factions. We will get to them. I believe me. There are so many factions. Hopefully we will be able to hit just everything over time. It's going to take time, but still. But I couldn't resist once I saw this. So as somewhere where I live and do all this, they did a pretty good geography, even with the lakes. Kind of got Lake Talcon right here, Lake Jackson, Lake Miccosukee. You got the Apalachicola River that shoots out here into the bay. There's the town of Apalachicola, which would be right here, and it's got some of the best oysters in the world are grown naturally in the bay, and just very, very cool. So I'm sure we'll talk more about that, but let's get into it. All right, legacy of the Southern Expedition. So we get some experience gained daily, but production growth and monthly population minus 5%. Our expedition to Florida was consistently harassed by mutants, and we've been repairing and reorganizing ever since. Battle of Tallahassee. The Gulf expedition is dealing with the aftermath of the Battle of Tallahassee, and much of the local population still is resisting. So much for our efforts are focused on pacifying those that resist. So that's a negative resource gain and no databases. So negative research speed and intelligence. Our expedition to Florida comes with consequences, and one of those consequences are our lack of functional databases. Now, we'll figure it out. All right, so let's start with research. We have 3 research slots. As per usual, I'm going to go over to industry. So tool procurement, industry planning, and construction basics. Okay, our infrastructure in Tallahassee is at 6 at least, so that's pretty good. So let's start on another one. Free military factories, so basic laser weaponry and advanced technical armor. Speaking of which, let's go to research here just to take a look. So down here, so we've only researched scavenged power armor. However, in the unique, we have the ATA-1B, a self-containment suit of advanced technical armor powered by a microfusion reactor with enough fuel to last 100 years. So I think these are like really good, right? 7 defense, 13.5 breakthrough. Yeah, definitely better than the scavenged. Let's see, soft attack 2, the ATA is 7. So they're much better, but I think they build really slow. Of course, all power armor generally is kind of slow, but I think these are slower than normal. We do have a dockyard. All right, national focuses. The Southern Expedition. The trek to Florida began in the Midwest after the discovery of a possible entity known as the Fountain of Dreams and the onset of a radiation crisis larger than anyone could have expected. So in Florida lore, the Fountain of Youth is supposedly here in St. Augustine. At least that's what the Spanish came looking for, right? The old Fountain of Youth. And of course now there's like a tourist attraction for the Fountain of Youth. Obviously it's not really the Fountain of Youth, but you know, there it is. St. Augustine, also America's oldest city. Even though actually Pensacola, which is not on the map, Pensacola, Florida would be over here, I believe was settled first, but a hurricane wiped them out. But so St. Augustine came just a couple years later, and it's the oldest continuously inhabited European settlement in North America, I do believe. So I know a lot of people think of like Jamestown and other stuff, but it's actually St. Augustine. So that's very, very cool here. So I'm not sure how long this campaign will be. I mean, Florida is not particularly large, but, you know, we could always naval invade up into D.C. or something. Who knows? Who knows what the plan is? Let's go through our focus tree and see where that goes. Speaking of which, militarily, we do have, what, looks like we got,
Hey there.
looks like we got 5 power armor units and 3 regular. The cap system, we know all that.
So tired.
All right, so the Southern Expedition. Okay. Word from a scouting scribe squad in the South provided us with interesting intel. There are rumors in Florida of an unlimited source of a substitute for Radaway known as the Fountain of Dreams. Initially dismissed, the rumors gradually gained credibility. By 2269, okay, so 6 years ago, the Radaway supplies in our Midwestern Brotherhood were dwindling significantly, and a spike in radstorms was causing massive losses among our ranks and civilians. Thus, in 2270, at 9:30, the mission to Florida was approved by General Arthur Bowerstone. Lord Campbell gathered 2 of his most loyal paladins, Boyan and Glass, to discuss their plan to trek to Florida. Senior Paladin Boyan believed that avoiding any threats along the way would greatly benefit them, while Glass argued that they should be more aggressive and eliminate any threats to the force. And so, after deliberating for a few hours, he decided that, okay, so that gets war support, that gains stability. I feel like stability is almost always preferred. The Battle of Tallahassee occurred after we secured much of the city from the raiders. However, our victory in the battle was only the first step in a grueling journey toward the Fountain of Dreams. All right, let's start that focus, which is already done. because we'd saved up some time. Okay, the Battle of Tallahassee. So lots of reading here to start. The expedition arrived in Florida by the winter of 2270, though not without heavy casualties due to the harsh trek through the jungles of the South. We were fortunate that the city of Tallahassee went on its knees, allowing us to annihilate the raider war bands and capitalize on our popularity among the general populace, who were fed up with the raiders across the city. We secured the city, began salvaging operations, and started building up defenses. We were fortunate to learn that Vito and his warband were going through another band of raiders instead of confronting us directly. By the time they arrived in Tallahassee, we were already prepared for Vito and his warband, which led to our victory within the city, though at a steep price. Many soldiers died in the battle, and some insurgents within the city began harassing our forces afterward, but we were victorious nonetheless. A short-lived victory gained war support of 5%. All right, to complete an objective, the securing of Tallahassee and its surroundings is only the beginning. First, we need to set objectives and secure our position within Tallahassee from any threats lurking from the south. All right, and this one's already done. My goodness, these are so short. There's almost no break in between because I'm saving up the stuff. All right. Oh boy. Bear with me, but this is the part that makes it different than just playing a regular old faction, right? This is why these exist. Campbell stood at his hollow table, looking down at the regional map that was set up. It had been a month since they secured Tallahassee, which had become the capital of their expedition operations. The Battle of Tallahassee might have marked Campbell as a victory, but his victory left him with a heavy heart, as many of his men had died. Though scarred by what had happened, the Paladin Lord now faced a new issue. Senior Paladin Glass and Boyan were now at odds, having become the leaders of two factions within the Gulf expedition. Glass led the Loyalists, completely dedicated to their mission for the Midwest, while Boyan sought to forge a new, independent chapter focused on protecting humanity, saving the wasteland, and moving on from the Midwest, which he saw as stagnating and rife with bickering between Irons and MacArthur. Although the Lord Paladin couldn't address the larger conflict at the moment, one pressing issue both were debating was the placement of military camps in the area. Okay, so we can focus on the defense in Tallahassee or focus 2 outposts in Dixie. So I don't think it really matters that much, but we'll put the 2 outposts in Dixie here. All right, now we can spread out a little bit here. I think I can even get, I'm going to start here. So 2 civilian workshops or the 2 arms workshops. I want the arms workshops. We can go ahead and get that right away. Go ahead and, because we need to be, look, this whole time we've only made 6 advanced technical armor suits. That's going to be hard to supply units, won't it? So anyway,
Hey there.
so power armor units. Does anyone have pain train yet? Not really. Looks like both of these guys are basically the same thing. So I guess it doesn't really matter.
Weapons to repair.
There you go. And then I do have the commanding officer myself, Paladin Lord Commander Campbell. Okay. And then there's still this the world out here. Oh, I didn't read it. By taking over former munition factories inhabited by civilians, restarting arms production lines will happen in no time, even at the dismay of the local populace. Indeed. Okay. That does hurt stability, but we do gain a couple more workshops. So everything for the expedition. All of our resources need to be focused on the expedition, especially if we plan to survive and reach the Fountain of Dreams. Indeed. All right, so we got a couple arms workshops. I think I'm going to go ahead and put them right in the power armor, actually. Let's go ahead and get that going. And one faction I will take great pleasure in will be destroying the faction of Gainesville here. Kind of like our rival town. Tallahassee has Florida State University. Gainesville has UF. Hopefully I don't have any UF followers here, but so as you can see, we're not really that far away. And so that will be a lot of fun in order to do that. All right, everything for the expedition. So that's another arms workshop and a civilian this time. Man, we can just keep going down this and keep improving our production efficiency growth and all of that. Let's do that. Let's get Brotherhood Economic Monopoly. Holding total economic dominance in the region might bottleneck the future economy, but will ensure we keep a tight leash over the region and our finances. Sure. All right, so I got 4 in there. I think that's fine. How about some support equipment? Get a little bit of that going. I think that might be wise. All right. Nothing's happening around here yet. Oh, a little bit of fighting going on in Jamaica. Jamaica has split. Well, that's a cool looking thing, whatever that is. Decree 93. Some sort of robot, I guess. Some AI. I don't know. All right. I don't know if we're going to get to any fighting today or not, because there's some building here. Here's the Vito family. They were the ones that kept showing up in our story so far. A warband leader from the way out west in the Mutant Liberation Army. Okay. So I guess he's one of our story enemies here at some point. All right, there we go. Brotherhood Economic Monopoly is done. Is there anything that... yeah, here we go. This grants me a war goal claim on the Osceola Beast. So yeah, let's do that. Continuing our objective. The exact location of the Fountain of Dreams is still somewhat unknown, but it is believed to be near the tribe known as the Dream Catchers. Although our primary objective is the Fountain of Dreams, securing our route there is essential for our operation. So let's start by striking the community to the south. Well, I'm actually going to go east, I think. Where are the Dream Catchers? Ah, Miami and the Everglades and Key West here. Pretty cool to see Perry make it on here. Yeah, Perry's just a little to our southeast, east-southeast here. They're kind of known for their sawmill and logging and whatnot, but unfortunately, I think that did close down.
After this, I have some weapons to repair.
Honestly, it might just be easier if we just put you under one general at this point. All right. So we're going to take over, we're going to start preparing for this right here. Oh, no, I don't have any planes yet. I think there is a focus. They'll give me some planes. All right, construction base. All right, so we're starting to, we just finished our first round of those. So let's get agriculture, multi-purpose equipment, and resource production. Just kind of hit all those first level 1 industry things here.
Sir.
Wow, they are slow to regain their organization, aren't they? All right. So what did we get for that manpower? I think we did 350. So let's go ahead and get the Osceola settlement. The Osceola beasts have become a growing issue since our arrival in Florida, though we are unsure of their origin. Some say they came from scientists down south, but that holds little value at the moment. We should focus on taking out the beasts indeed. Oh, how long is that focus? It's only 7 days. All right. Well, as of right now, they have only one, looks like Meyerlurk along the line. Kind of interesting that whoever made this, so this is the St. Johns River that comes in from the Atlantic, and it does go right by Jacksonville and down. Maybe this way a little bit, but we don't really have, this is probably a little... You know, that's a little extra. We don't really have a river that cuts through from Atlantic to Gulf. So that's a little surprising they did that, but whatever. Okay. We have finished the Osceola settlement focus. So we're going to declare war here in a second, but let's get prepare against the settlers. The settlers down south, known as the communities of Spring Hill, are made up of vault dwellers who had some sort of HOA system in place. Although we could try negotiating with them, it would take too much time. We need to strike. All right, we get some support equipment. We'll do that. All right, let's declare war. Let's declare our first war on the Osceola beasts. Move forward. Oh, I can give you an upgrade. I think we'll give you pain drain, because that improves our heavy special forces. Obviously, this looks like pretty easy. Just walk in.
Sir.
I mean, were they just totally not prepared? Oh, volunteers from Lost Hills. I don't think we need that. I mean, pretty sure this battle's going to be over before we even...
What's going on? What do you need?
Here, come strike around. Ooh, a little bit of red there. And red there. So, I underestimated these Mirelurks. And we are also attacking across the river, which is generally considered not ideal, right?
This'll be over quick.
You know what I could do? I could call off this attack, and let's see if we can surround them. We can surround at least these two. That might be wise. And you should probably come here. Alright, yeah, so we're taking a few losses, unfortunately, but that's alright. Alright, you move forward. Okay, so even if this Mirelurk crab takes this one again, I'm not really too concerned about that.
What's going on?
There we go. So these guys are totally pinched.
Greetings, Elder.
They'll be destroyed, and we should be good to go from that point forward. But they're tough. These little crabs, these Mirelurk crabs, not easy. But I only see evidence they only have, it looks like these two and then this guy out here, so. Alright, so we'll destroy these two, and that will be the end of that. Alright, prepare against the settlers. The community of Spring Hill. Oh, but we have to own Osceola first. Alright, our major advantage. Part of the Florida Air National Guard redeployed to Tallahassee International Airport before the Great War. Luckily, we can repurpose these planes. So we get 65 units of North American P-51 Mustangs. Alright. Yes, we do have Tallahassee International Airport, but it's kind of funny because there are no international flights. Technically, we are building an international customs and goods, part of the airport, but we have no international commercial passenger flights. So people always kind of go, yeah, international, huh? Real funny.
Hello, sir.
But, it is what it is. All right.
Hello, sir.
Are we moving, or do I need to do everything here, guys? Come on.
Hello, sir.
Let's go. Let's move.
Hey.
Annoying me. So we'll at least get some airplanes.
Hey there.
I suppose we can put them on, even though they're probably fighters, I think we can still put them on close air support anyway.
Sir.
Alright, let's see if we can surround Lake City here. And then this Mirelurk unit will be toast. There we go.
Hello, sir.
Come on, there we go. Okay, green bubbles.
What can I do for you?
Of course, this might pretty much end the war here at this point. I mean, they have no troops, right? They have to give up. They have no more victory points. Shouldn't that be it? Oh, no. I guess we need to take more tiles.
What's going on?
There we go. One basic melee. I mean, it was just a one state faction here. So, there we go. Osceola is now ours. There we go. Gulf Expedition just got a little bit bigger. They actually gave Tallahassee a pretty good population of 25,000, especially considering, like, Tampa 35, St. Pete. So they gave us more people than St. Pete, which is not true. I mean, Orlando 14,000. a little surprising because Orlando, Tampa, St. Pete have a lot more people. Obviously, Miami only 26, 17, so that's not exactly super balanced. Because Tallahassee metro area, we have like 400,000. You know, Orlando, Tampa, Miami, these are millions in people. So, but hey, maybe because they're bigger towns, they got scorched harder by nuclear fire, right? Jacksonville. Oh, they gave Jacksonville the most amount of people, 45,000. I'm going to want that. All right. Very cool. Is anybody fighting anywhere else yet? No, not really. All right, let's speed it back up. Let's finish this major advantage, maybe do something else real quick, and then that's probably where we'll call it a day. So we have this very large kudzu overgrowth, which it says we can conquer it, but I'm not sure exactly how that works. Then you do have, so this is connected. The whole North America is connected now, so theoretically you could go from east to west coast. Though it looks like some things aren't fully fleshed out because it just says for their towns, for Ohio, Cult of Corn, Chicago, Enclave, it just says unoccupied wastelands for the cities. So probably still some work to be done in some of that. All right, that's complete. Let's go to support. I do want my... Oh, I already have healing powder research. Well, then I need to be putting that on my units. Infantry. Let's get warrior training. Let's start researching that. All right. There we go. There's our major advantage. All right, let's do Mirelurk hunting party. So this will add 8 water in Osceola, and it also will core it for me, which is always nice for when you get focuses that core lands you take. That's always a nice little bonus. With the Osceola beasts wiped out, some Mirelurks and other beasts still lurk around Lake City and its surroundings. We should start sending out hunting parties to deal with the remaining Mirelurks just in case they try to stir trouble again. All right, it's only 21 days, so we'll finish that off, and that's where we'll call it a day for this first Gulf expedition. And then I think the game is kind of wanting me to kind of go this way. Ooh, Gainesville, you dirty dog. Oh, I can't, oh, sorry. I can justify 45 political power, 225 days. That's not too bad. Vancouver's men, no, I can't do that. Oh, let's look at our planes. There we go. P-51 Mustang. I think I'm only going to deploy the 50 of them, so then we'll have a few extras because I can't replace them at the moment. So you just do some pilot exercise. You gain yourself some experience. You'll be less likely to die in battle and crash if you're well experienced, of course. Oh, I do have some political power. Resource production and organized agriculture are done. So let's get combat language is always a good one to get. I'll get some of those other ones in a minute. Oh, I already have Ohm's law, so that's good. Naval, no, let's do air. Let's research the glider. Let's get that kind of going. Since I've already gotten some planes, it would be nice if I'd be able to replace them sooner than later. Wow, I was way short on the weaponry. Oh, we probably are. There we go. Mirelurk hunting parties is research. This is now a core. Beautiful. And that's that. Okay, so before we go looking at any more focuses, let's stop here. My friends, I appreciate it. I really thank you all for all the comments and likes and everything that I've gotten on the videos. I really do appreciate you. And don't worry, I'm still taking your suggestions. When I know I had a couple of people suggest the Mirelurk tribe. I guess that would be up here. Of course, I'm definitely interested. An Enclave run at some point, that would be fun. No doubt. But once I saw that my home area, my hometown and everything had its own faction, I couldn't resist. So Please like, subscribe, leave comments. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Have a good one. Bye, guys.